The first thing that comes to mind is, what am I gonna eat? Good morning, my friends. My name is Mindy, and if you're new to my channel, welcome. For those of you who have been with me forever, welcome back. It is early in the morning on a Sunday, which means it's grocery shopping time. And this is week 8 of my current cut. For those of you who are new here and you're not familiar with the terminology that I use, a cut is just a defined period of time in a caloric deficit. I have several videos where I talk about the way that I approach weight loss that has changed drastically over the last 2.5 years. But through the research that I've done, I've discovered, and through my own personal experience, I've discovered that staying in a caloric deficit for extended periods of time can wreak havoc on not only your mental health, but your metabolism as well. So about a year-ish ago, sorry, the sun is just killing me. I started splitting my time between being in a caloric deficit, eating fewer calories than I burn. Yes, that's right. For a certain period of time. And then spending several weeks in a maintenance state where I'm working on just keeping my weight the same. I haven't always been super successful at it, especially during the maintenance phases, but I feel like it's important for me to teach my body that sometimes it's going to get more calories and sometimes it's going to get less calories. And it has definitely helped me avoid some metabolic adaptation. I know there are a lot of people that are at this stage that I am in terms of their weight and activity level, who are having to eat way fewer calories than I am. And I'm not gifted with a fast metabolism. So right now I'm not really doing any exercise at all. Like, I just do my walks and I try to get in at least 5,000 steps a day. I'm not always successful at it. So I know I could eat more if I increased my activity level more. But right now, honestly, I'm struggling just to eat the number of calories that I am. So I'm happy with where I'm at. Earlier this year, I decided to switch to a period of 6 weeks on a cut and 2 weeks of maintenance. This time around, I'm doing 8 weeks because I actually have a trip to California coming up very, very soon. It's in a week and a half. So I have this week on my calorie deficit. And then next week on Wednesday, I leave to go to California to spend a whole week with my family, which I'm very excited about. But I am not going to be thinking about weight loss while I am on vacation. It's just not a thing. Everything in moderation, including moderation. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, I'm not going to just like go crazy off the rails while I'm there because I don't want to spend my vacation sick. But I'm definitely not going to be counting calories. I'm not going to be worried about my protein intake. I'm not going to be worried about any of that. I'm just going to enjoy myself while I'm there with my family. A big part of my mental health journey lately has been finding things that I enjoy and that I can enjoy as much as food or more than food, or that I can look forward to more than food. Because if you're someone that has a food addiction, maybe you can relate, but anytime I'm planning a trip, anytime I'm getting ready to go anywhere or do anything, the first thing that comes to mind is, what am I gonna eat? And I'm hoping that maybe someday that'll change, but as a foodie, it might not. But I'm doing my best to find ways to do that in a healthy way. Maybe instead of what am I going to eat and let's think of the most decadent thing possible, it's what am I going to eat and how can I make that fit within my goals. Early on in my journey, whenever I went out to eat, I would always look at a menu ahead of time, think about what I was going to eat ahead of time, and I would pre-log the food that I was going to eat, so that before I even got to the restaurant, I would know what I was eating and I would be mentally prepared to say, this is how much food I'm eating and this is when I'm done. That really helps me when I'm eating at home because I already know how much a portion is. I serve myself that portion, and once I'm done with that portion, I'm totally satisfied, I'm happy, I don't feel deprived. I know that's not the case for everybody, but for me, that's what works. And I've really gotten away from that whole pre-logging my food thing at restaurants. And since I've done that, I've noticed that when I'm eating out, like my weight is fluctuating a lot more. And so this weekend, like we try to save eating out for the weekend. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we go out to eat one time. Sometimes we end up going out more than that, depending on what we have going on, but we try to limit it to one for financial reasons just as much as health reasons. Yesterday, my nephew came into town for a surprise visit. He's only here for a couple of days for his godson's baptism and a birthday. So he's not here for very long, and I'm gonna see him in a week and a half, but it was super exciting to get to go to lunch with him. And he and his brothers all have this place that they love here called Pluckers. It's a local chicken wing place. It's not my absolute favorite, but I know that they love that place. The reason it's not my absolute favorite is because, in my opinion, it's very pricey for a chicken joint, like for a chicken wing place. You know, it's like $18 to $20 for 5 wings and some tots. Like, that's, to me, is just crazy. And then on top of them charging that crazy price, they nickel and dime you over everything. If you want all flats, they charge you $1. If you want extra sauce, they charge you $1. If you want to split sauces, so like if you get a 10 wing combo and you want 5 with one sauce and 5 with another sauce, they charge you 40 cents. They charge you $1 extra for extra ranch. So I mean, it's like, not only are they charging more than just about every other wing place on the planet, then they're charging you more for everything else on top of that. Anyway, rant over with Mindy the cheapo. Their food is delicious. In my opinion, way more than their wings. I love their appetizers, which, if you've been to a wing place, you know, and really just even the wings, everything on the menu is fried. So the thing that we love the most there, that everyone in my family is just like, oh my God, is the Holy Mac. And Holy Mac is literally breaded and deep fried macaroni and cheese. And they serve it with a strawberry chutney. So it's like a spicy, sweet sauce that has a little bit of acidity. So it really cuts through the richness of like the fried and the cheese and all of that. But like one of those, one little Holy Mac is like 300 calories or something like that. So I knew before we went to lunch there yesterday that I was gonna need to plan what my meal would look like. And sure enough, once I plugged in just like the bare minimum of what I would eat, I'm already at over 1,100 calories. The awesome thing is it kept me from over ordering food, because oftentimes my husband and I will both get tots and they give you way too many, and we always have a ton left over and they just go to waste. So instead of doing that, I ordered the tots with my meal, and honestly, all 3 of us shared tots and we still had some left over. So it saved us a little bit of money, and it kept me from eating way too many tots. And it also kept me from eating way too much ranch, saved me from spending the money on buying an extra side of ranch. I never need as much sauce as I think I do. I love sauce. I'm a sauce girl. If you're a sauce girl or guy, say hi down in the comments. Tell me your favorite sauce of choice. Also, are you a blue cheese or a ranch person on your wings? I love both, but I love blue cheese on other things, like on wedge salads and like in burgers and stuff like that. The flavor of blue cheese competes too much with the types of sauces that I like to have on wings. Yeah, so it kept me from eating too much ranch dressing. A side of ranch can be close to 200 calories depending on who makes it. I'm gonna spend 200 calories on sauce? Really? So it's like, it's funny for me, somebody who likes to budget and who is like very financially inclined, I start thinking about calories as a budget. You'll hear me talking that way. It's like, I don't want to spend 200 calories on ranch. I don't want to spend $200 on something. That's kind of where my mind goes. And then I find when I'm more careful about those things and I'm more conscious of what those are, I'm less inclined to want to eat more. And then I realize at the end, I didn't miss not having that much sauce anyway. The food was still delicious. It was very satisfying. I was a happy girl. So anyway, this has been a very long rant about things that I didn't necessarily mean to talk about right now, but I'm on my way to Randall's. If you missed my high protein on a budget video, I talked about ways that I save money eating high protein, because a high protein diet can get real expensive. But if you watch the sales in your area, it definitely gets more affordable. I'm running a little bit low on chicken and ground beef right now, and boneless, skinless chicken breast and chicken thighs are on sale for $1.97 a pound right now at Randall's. And my 93%, and my 93% lean ground beef is on sale at Randall's for $3.97 a pound. So that happens randomly throughout the month, and I just keep an eye on the flyers. When I see that things that I'm low on are on sale, I go and I grab a couple of packages and I will portion them out. I'll vacuum seal them and then I will store them in my freezer. So that way, when meat is not on sale, I'm not having to pay $5 or $6 a pound for something I could have gotten for $2 or $3. I'm gonna run in here and get some meat and a couple other things that are on sale that I need to restock in my pantry. And then I'm gonna go to H-E-B and get my normal groceries. And then I have a Walmart pickup because I am obsessed with toasted marshmallow Light and Fit, and it's the only place in my area that has it. Okay, bye.
I love my H-E-B. Oh yeah, that's happening. Yum. Yummy. Oh, she is ripe. Lime. Not the coconut though. Yummy cilantro. Come with me, friend. Oh, it gave me a shower. Oh. Onion. Reduce fat, not fat free, because you need to love yourself. Yum. Best bang for your buck cheese in the supermarket. Must hydrate. So good. If you're not eating tater tots for breakfast, what are you doing with your life? Okay, so I'm getting ready to start some food prep. This is kind of a regular part of my Sundays. Some days I have more, some days I have less. Pretty much all I've done so far is make my avocado dressing. I will link the video down here where that recipe is. I've made it multiple times, but I will be eating that with our slow cooker chicken tinga tacos. I cut up my mango for my breakfast this morning, and I'm about to make my lunches for this week. If you've been around for a while, you know that two of my favorite cuisines are Korean food and Greek food. I love those flavors. They're so delicious. And Greek food especially really lends itself to kind of healthy eating. It's very veggie forward, lots of Greek yogurt, things like that. So one of my favorite creators is Mandy in the Making. I love her videos, and she did this kind of Greek chicken salad recipe on her channel a few weeks ago. And as soon as I saw it, I was like, nope, that's definitely going on the menu at some point. And this is the week. So I'm going to enjoy mine inside of a wrap, the large La Banderita. I'll show you. The La Banderita carb counter. These are the large wrap size, and you can see they are quite big. Like, this is my hand, and they're only 90 calories. So this works really well for burritos, for sandwich wraps like this. You know, if you just want a tortilla. Like, honestly, I cannot tell the difference between these and a regular store-bought flour tortilla. They are fantastic. I find mine at Walmart. So yeah, I'm gonna be putting in those, and then I will be enjoying mine with some Quest protein chips. I bought the nacho cheese flavor and the taco, the loaded taco flavor. Those are my two favorite flavors. The sweet chili ones are also pretty good, but I don't like them as much as those other two flavors. They're kind of like a barbecue. They're just very chili powder forward in their flavor profile. It's not enough. Like, I was expecting like a sweet Thai chili vibe, and that's definitely not what they are. So anyway, let's go throw this together. Okay, we're gonna start with a pound of pre-cooked chicken. I'm using just some that I had made and stored in my freezer, but rotisserie chicken would also be a really easy way to do this. And you can either cube it up or shred it up. I'm gonna shred it up using my KitchenAid mixer. This does this a lot faster when it's warm. Incidentally, you could also use canned chicken for this. I'm just not a huge fan of the flavor or texture of canned chicken. Okay, and then we're doing 125 grams of cottage cheese. I'm doing fat-free just because higher protein. I did blend mine up to make it more creamy, because since I used fat-free, like, it's a little more like, it's kind of more liquidy. So I wanted it to be creamier to use as a dressing. And if you're somebody that doesn't mind the flavor of cottage cheese, but you hate the texture, like I know that's a lot of people, then this might be a good way for you to give cottage cheese another try. Like just blend it up with an immersion blender or in a food processor. And then we're gonna add 62 grams of Greek vinaigrette dressing. It smells good. Okay. I'm gonna stir this up. Just to get that all over the chicken. Yummy. Okay, and then we're gonna add all of our veggies. I have 2 cups of cucumber. I have 10 grape tomatoes. This is about 1/4 cup of diced red onion, and then 1 package of these Mario snack olives. These are Kalamata with a hint of thyme. I'm not the person that will just snack on Kalamata olives by themselves, but I like them in things like this, so I didn't want to buy like a giant thing of Kalamatas. And that seemed like a good amount of olives to me. Last but most certainly not least, we're gonna do 50 grams of feta cheese. And I'm doing reduced fat feta. I never do fat-free cheese because I like myself, but reduced fat is fine. I'm gonna break up the bigger chunks. And you could wait and just do the feta like on top of your salad if you wanted, but I want this to be easy to throw together in the mornings. I can just put it inside the wrap and then be done with it. All right, and then we're just gonna stir this up. And I'm gonna throw this in a container and let it sit and all those flavors get to know each other. And the macros on this, if you're eating the salad by itself, are 218 calories, 30 grams of protein, 6 grams of carbs, and 9 grams of fat. With the wrap and the chips, it's 458 calories, 53 grams of protein, 34 grams of carbs, and 17 grams of fat. So that should be a very filling, delicious meal for my lunches this week. I forgot to add salt and pepper. I did taste it, and it does need a little bit. So I'm gonna add salt and pepper to taste. Perfect.
Hi. So it's Sunday night. I finished all the, oh, you guys are pointing. I'm sorry. There we go. So I finished my food prep, and pretty much the rest of today I've just been playing video games with Richard and cleaning the kitchen, bunch of really boring crap. But I just wanted to let y'all in on a little not so secret that you probably all already know about because I'm usually the last to the party. But Dan and Light and Fit. Yum. Okay. So y'all know I like sweet treats. I always plan for some sort of higher protein sweet treat during the week to end my evening. But lately, I've really been craving something lighter at night. Maybe it's because it's hotter outside. Maybe it's just because my body is just not wanting something so heavy. And I don't know, several weeks ago, maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago, I got these Oikos remix things. You know, the stuff that's got the yogurt and then it has the crunchy things on top that you put in the yogurt and then you mix it up and you shove it in your face and it's delicious. Okay, well, they're not very cheap. So I was like, you know, I could probably make these myself. And then I kept hearing from everybody how delicious these Light and Fit yogurts were. And then I was like, well, I need to try all the flavors because, you know, FOMO. And so I found out that Walmart carries a lot more flavors of the single varieties than like my H-E-B does. I think H-E-B just carries like 3 flavors or something like that. And so I had heard about the toasted marshmallow and the creme brulee flavors. And I thought for sure, like I just knew I was going to love the creme brulee like it was my own mama. And it was okay, but it was too caramely. Creme brulee to me doesn't taste like caramel. Like it has the burnt sugar on top, but it's not caramely tasting. Like it's a vanilla custard with the burnt sugar on top. But it just tasted like caramel to me. It was okay. It was good. It wasn't bad. I still enjoyed it, but it wasn't great. However, toasted marshmallow. It's 80 calories, 12 grams of protein. So freaking good. If you can get your hands on this, it tastes like a marshmallow. And I'm a fan of that. I've been eating it with this yogurt. Hold on. Please hold. Okay, I'm back. This granola. It's by Nature's Path Organic, which I don't care about the organic part, but it's pretty affordable. And it's the coconut and cashew butter. So freaking delicious. The hard part is, you know, I mean, a third of a cup of this stuff, which sounds like a lot, but it's not, is 150 calories. So all granola, I've yet to find a granola that is not extremely calorie dense, even when you make it yourself, lots of calories. But the good thing is it's very flavor concentrated, so you don't need a lot of it. Like I only use 20 grams of this stuff in this little cup of Light and Fit. And then I put 7 grams of mini chocolate chips in it. It's so delicious. It's like 215 calories and 13 or 14, maybe 15 grams of protein. I don't remember. It's got protein in it, which is delicious and happy, and it makes you full. And there's a tiny bit of fiber in here. Not a lot, but a little. But anyway, it's a very delicious dessert, and I just thought that I needed to share it with you because, you know, we're friends, and friends tell each other when things are delicious. So, yeah. That's it for tonight. I'll see you guys tomorrow because I need to taste that salad with you. Chicken salad. I'm real excited about it. I had that little tiny taste to check for the salt and pepper, and it was real good. So, more tomorrow. Okay, bye. Good morning. This is your Monday morning movement motivation. Say that 10 times fast. Just getting some steps in with Helios this morning. Trying to do it before it gets too stinking hot. It's too late. It's already in the 80s. With the heat index approaching 90. You know, like you do at 7 a.m. Just want to come on and tell you that movement makes you feel better. Even if you don't like it. Like I don't. I definitely don't. Also, sorry, my dog is trying to murder me. Please hold. I just want to remind you guys, I know I haven't talked about it much lately, but you can eat out and still lose weight. Like, you can eat at restaurants. I know I talked about this a little bit yesterday with planning your meal ahead of time and logging it and making it fit into your calorie goals. Saturday, I ate chicken wings, fried macaroni, and tater tots. Still lost weight. Yesterday, I ate migas and breakfast potatoes and refried beans and tortillas, and I still lost weight. You just need to plan ahead a little. That's all it takes. And today I feel so good about myself because I took that little bit of time to go back to those habits that I completely forgot about. It's never too late to revisit the basics. Even 2.5 years later, I'm still relearning lessons that I learned 2.5 years ago. Oh God, dog. Ugh. I'm gonna get this walk done. Hi. So it's Monday night. I just want to come on and give y'all an update on the taste test for our lunch this afternoon. It was very delicious. I very much enjoyed the flavors. I will definitely be using that Greek vinaigrette again. I'm thinking like a Mediterranean orzo pasta salad situation with maybe like some pork souvlaki, like some marinated, like some Greek marinated grilled pork tenderloin or something. I think that would be really delicious. Something to explore. Anyway, one issue I had was the salad was a little dry. Like it needed more dressing. So if you make it, I think it was only like, I think I had only used like a half a cup of cottage cheese and 2 servings, so 4 tablespoons total of the Greek vinaigrette. What I'm going to do tomorrow, I'm going to add another tablespoon of the vinaigrette to the mixture. Like I'm just going to kind of pour it in with the wrap. And I think that that will be sufficient to like kind of moisten that up a little bit. Yeah, because the chicken was a little dry. Like it needed more, like the flavor was really good, but it needed a little more food lube, you know, something. So either more cottage cheese or more dressing would be great. I'm going to go with a little more dressing because there's already over 50 grams of protein in that lunch. So I think we're good on the protein. I think I had like 140, almost 145 grams of protein today, something like that. So yay me. Anyway, I'm getting ready to go to bed, but I just wanted to let y'all know that chicken salad is a winner chicken salad dinner. So you should try it because it's really yummy. And you can customize it any way you want. I'm going to see you guys on Friday for an update on my weight loss results.
Good morning, guys. I apologize in advance for the state of my hair. Given my limited time to film before I leave for California, I filmed an update to my hair loss journey that you guys will get to see next week. So if you're not subscribed and you want to know how my hair loss journey has progressed, make sure you're subscribed and hit that bell notification button so that it'll let you know when that video goes live next week. But yeah, you're getting a little sneak peek with the halo, but I tried to hide the the haircut as much as I could because, you know, spoilers. The rest of this week has been a little crazy getting ready for my California trip and still trying to keep up with everything else that I have to do with life. If you missed my video from last week, I talked about Friday's Health. I am now an advocate for Friday's Health. They are a weight loss telehealth company that helps people get insurance approvals and access to compounds for those of you who don't have an insurance that covers, or if you've been unable to get access to meds due to the shortages and things like that. So if you missed that video, definitely check it out here. I have really been enjoying their support groups. I went to 2 different support groups this week. I went to, and this is my second time going to one of their nutrition support groups with Darby Horton, who is their registered dietitian on staff, and she is so precious. Love her to death. She will do custom macro breakdowns for you based on your specific stats and activity level and all that. So I know a lot of you have asked me, like, how do I figure out how many calories I'm supposed to eat? How do I know how much protein I'm supposed to eat? She is somebody that would be extremely qualified to be able to give you that information if you have decided to join Fridays. I actually asked her to take a look at my calorie and macro breakdowns to see if she thinks I'm on the right track or if I should be changing some things. And based on where my activity level is at right now, without doing any strength training, she says she thinks that I'm pretty much right on track with what she would recommend for me. But she's also going to give me a breakdown for my maintenance that I start next week as well. And then once I start adding my strength training in, I'm going to probably get with her to talk to her about what she thinks I should add in terms of caloric intake or protein intake once I start adding my strength training back in, which I plan to do probably on my next cut in another couple of weeks. I also attended one of their support groups for the first time, and it's just basically what it sounds like. It's a support group with Joy Bracey, who is a certified therapist, and she has lost over 194 pounds between tirzepatide and then gastric bypass surgery. She started with tirzepatide. No. tirzepatide to get down to a weight where it would be safe for her to do the gastric bypass surgery. And then she did the gastric and continued with the tirzepatide in order to get to that 194-pound loss. So she has an extremely inspirational story as well. Obviously, she has lived this. She knows, what people are going through, not just with weight loss, but specifically as it relates to these medications. And if you're someone that has also experienced a weight loss surgery, then that's something that she is familiar with as well. I loved the conversation that took place. People were voicing their frustration with stalls, and people were giving advice as to how, not just how they've broken stalls, but how they've gotten through them in a healthy mental space. Because as I've started getting into over the last couple of months, I have learned that the mental piece of this is so very neglected. And I neglected mine for way too long on this journey. And it really resulted in a lot of where my stalls have happened. A lot of my up and down has been because I just hadn't taken care of that mental piece yet. And I'm still working on it. I'm definitely not perfect. I am a work in progress, not a work in completion. She gave this one piece of advice that really resonated with me. And I do a good job of it sometimes, but not always. And I've never thought about it in this way. But she was talking about how, obviously don't cut out treats, which we don't believe in that here, right? Don't cut out treats, but be mindful when you're eating a treat. While you're eating that treat, if every bite isn't the best bite that you possibly could have, and you're not just overwhelmed with how amazing it is, then it's time to stop eating it. And I have said that, I don't want to waste my calories on this thing, but usually I will only go that far when I think something is gross or it just doesn't taste good at all. But if I eat something that's mediocre, and part of this is just me being cheap. I'm well, I've already spent my money on it. I should eat it, kind of thing. And I definitely do that with the healthy food that I eat. If I don't absolutely love a recipe that I try, I'm still going to eat the leftovers. I'm still going to go through it because I did spend the money on it and it's just food, right? But if it's a treat, and it's something where I am treating myself, I'm having a higher calorie treat, I'm having something that doesn't really do anything to nourish my body, it's just meant to nourish my soul. If it's not nourishing my soul all the way to 11, then why am I eating it? I just really loved that piece of advice, and it just wasn't something that I had ever thought about in that way. So hopefully that's helpful to you as well. Again, if you guys are interested in checking out Fridays, their compounds are the cheapest that I have ever seen. So it definitely makes, especially semaglutide, very affordable for people who maybe just can't afford to self-fund the name brand medication. So if you're interested in checking that out, take a look at last week's video, but I will always have a link down in the description for my advocate link that will get you $20 off your first month of service with them. And you can check it out. All of their pricing is on the site. They're extremely transparent, which is one of the things that I love about them. Definitely check that out, because if for nothing else, I love them for their support groups. But their doctors, I've already been getting feedback from people that have decided to sign up, talking about how much they love their Fridays doctor and how knowledgeable they are and the advice they've been able to give them that they could not get from their regular doctor. So love all of that for all of us. On to the results. I'm sure that's why you're here. Just finished up this 8-week cut, and I am very happy with my results. So I started on April 22nd, and for the last several weeks, it's been like clockwork. I will hit a new low on Thursday, and then on Friday, which is my results day, I'll step on the scale and my weight goes back up again. So I mentioned this the last time I talked through my weight with you guys. I'm just going to use my lowest weight of the week because I use an average anyway. Super happy to report that I am down to 238 pounds, which means that in the last 8 weeks, I lost 14.4 pounds. I was taking off some weight from a little bit of regain that I had with some of the mental stuff that I was going through. If you've been with me since last year, you know that I set a goal to lose 50 pounds this year. I have lost a total of 18.6 pounds since January 1st. If you look at my trend since January 1st to now, you can see that things were going really great at the beginning of the year. I was feeling good. I was super motivated. The weight was coming off. And then in March, we went to Spring War. And I did a fair amount of planning for Spring War. I took some healthy food with me. I didn't go overboard. I was doing great at Spring War. And then we came back from Spring War and I just took a mental nosedive and I regressed into some really bad habits. And you can see what my weight does as I was going through that time. Then I started counseling. And you can see when I started counseling, like I got into a much better place mentally. I started to learn some new coping mechanisms and started getting into that food addiction treatment book that I was working on. And then my weight starts going back down. There was a little bit of a blip in June from my birthday week, which I'm not going to get mad about. I did have a couple extra meals where I probably ate a little bit too much. And again, I talked to you guys this week about how I've started looking at pre-logging my meals when I go out to eat again. And that was a huge help this last weekend because I had gotten away from that. And it's just so easy to overeat calorie wise when you go out to a restaurant. I don't feel overly full, but because food is so calorie dense at restaurants, it's just really easy to overeat those calories if you're not planning ahead. Once I started looking at that again, like this last week, I just continued losing weight even throughout the weekend when I was eating out. I am excited about my progress. I'm sad that the setbacks that I had with my mental health have put me in a precarious position with meeting my 50-pound weight loss goal. I may or may not make it at this point. You know, we're a little more than halfway through the year and I'm not even close to halfway to my 50-pound goal. I'm going to be going on my 2-week maintenance break while I'm in California. I'm not going to be counting calories while I'm in California, but I'm going to do my best to just listen really closely to those hunger cues. I'm going to enjoy my vacation. I'm going to enjoy the time that I'm there. I'm going to be really careful not to just let that keep going. I'm only in California for a week. So the few days leading up to it, I'm still going to be counting calories and being careful about how much I'm consuming. The few days after I get back before I start on my cut, I'm still going to be careful because I have that tendency when I'm taking a diet break to be like, oh no, I'm just not going to look at anything. And that's when I end up having another 5 to 10 pound regain that I have to take off before I'm making any progress on a cut again. It is a marathon, not a sprint. We've talked before about how we have our entire lives to get this weight off, and I refuse to stop enjoying my life to accommodate my weight loss. And the reality is that I enjoy food. I am a foodie, and I actually talked to my counselor about that, and I was like, should I be worried about the fact that I still really love food? And she said, absolutely not. There's nothing wrong with loving food, with enjoying food. The problem is when you become obsessive about food. And I think there's a part of me, that all or nothing part of me, that just tends to have that thinking where I'm like, I shouldn't be thinking about food. I shouldn't be wanting food. I shouldn't be dreaming about food, like, or fantasizing about food or anything like that. She's like, I really don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think that as long as you're not obsessing over it and you can still find other things to enjoy and you're not shutting people and activities out in order to eat those things and you're not making yourself sick and all of that stuff. She's like, those are the things to be cautious of when it comes to thinking about food and enjoying food and stuff like that, which those are definitely things that I used to do, but I don't feel like I've gotten to that point in a very long time. Also, I just wanted to, again, as always, say a big, huge thank you to my members. Without your support, I definitely couldn't continue to make these videos. So if you're somebody who would like to support my content, feel free to check out my Buy Me a Coffee link down in the description, and you can take a look at my membership options. Or I also have recipe cards and things like that that you can do for like a one-time purchase. Thanks so much for being here, you guys. I love you so much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.
We're on a journey, looking back on the things that we've taken for granted, but feels like we're learning to be better.